Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into a big one, William Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury. It's known for being complex, but also, well, absolutely brilliant.
It really is a landmark novel.
Yeah, and if you've maybe felt a bit intimidated by Faulkner or this book specifically, stick around. Our goal today is simple. We want to sort of break it down, look at the artistry, the innovative stuff, and why it still matters, Make it feel accessible.
Definitely. And Faulkner himself, he's a giant Nobel Prize winner, central figure in modernism. His use of stream of consciousness, it changed things. So this deep dive should give you a really good framework for appreciating that.
Okay, so let's get into the story itself. At its heart, it's about the Compsons, right? A once prominent Southern family in Mississippi. Now, well, they're falling apart.
Exactly. It's a story of decline and decay. But the genius isn't just the what, it's the how Faulkner tells it. He splits the story into 4 very distinct sections.
Different perspectives.
Right. Different perspectives, different minds. And each one gives you this unique, sometimes jarring look into the family's dysfunction. It's like pieces of a shattered mirror.
And he doesn't ease you in, does he? That first section.
Wow.
No, he throws you right in the deep end. With Benjy.
Benjy Compson. The opening is through his eyes, and he has a significant mental disability. His thoughts are fragmented? Is that the right word?
Fragmented, yeah, and non-linear. It's a rush of sensations, memories popping up out of sequence, past and present, all jumbled together. It's deliberately disorienting.
It really is. You feel completely lost at first. But why start there? What's the effect?
Well, I think it's Faulkner showing us something fundamental about maybe raw experience. Before logic, before language organizes everything, it's pure feeling, pure memory echo. Benjy's perspective is sort of timeless, innocent almost, even amidst all the family's darkness. It forces you, the reader, to piece things together differently from the start.
That makes sense. It sets you up to not expect a straightforward story.
Exactly. You have to feel your way through it, much like Benjy does. Then the shift to the second section is quite dramatic. We move to his older brother, Quentin.
Quentin, his section feels very different, intense, obsessive almost.
Absolutely obsessive. Quentin is consumed by ideas of time, Southern honor, this sort of idealized past, and very intensely by his sister Caddy. His narrative is leading towards tragedy. You can feel it.
You mentioned Southern honor. What specific values is Faulkner really digging into through Quentin's despair? It feels like more than just family pride.
Well, it's that whole myth of the Old South, isn't it? Chivalry, racial purity, a certain kind of female purity especially. Quentin is absolutely tormented by these ideals, particularly Caddy's perceived loss of innocence. He can't reconcile the myth with reality.
He seems trapped by it.
Completely trapped. He wants to stop time, preserve something that maybe never even existed. His internal monologue is just swirling with these decaying, destructive values. It's suffocating.
And that struggle with time is everywhere in the book, but Quentin really embodies it. Okay, so after Quentin's intensity, we get Jason.
Jason, yeah, another sharp turn. If Quentin is internal torment, Jason is, well, he's all outward bitterness. Materialistic, angry, cruel.
He seems so different from his brothers, almost purely cynical.
He really is. He represents the sort of grasping, mean-spirited side of the family's decline, all about money, resentment, control. There's no romanticism left in Jason. Faulkner uses him to show the ugly underbelly of that decaying aristocracy. It's quite stark.
It definitely paints a fuller picture of the family's moral state, or lack thereof. And then finally, there's Dilsey.
Ah, Dilsey. Yes, the family's black servant. Her section, the 4th one, it's such a crucial counterpoint.
Also, she feels like steadiness.
Exactly. Steadiness, endurance, moral strength. Amidst all the Compson chaos and self-destruction, Dilsey represents resilience. She has this quiet dignity, this clarity that the Compsons completely lack. She's like the moral center, holding things together in a way, even as everything else falls apart.
She sees it all, doesn't she?
She sees it all, endures it all. Her presence really highlights the hypocrisy and weakness of the Compsons. Faulkner seems to suggest that true strength, true humanity, might be found in those pushed to the margins. It's a powerful statement.
It really is. She's a breath of, well, not fresh air exactly, but solid ground after the swirling minds of the brothers. And connecting all of them, even though she doesn't get her own section.
Caddy.
Caddy Compson.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's absolutely central. The emotional heart of the novel, you could say.
Even without her own voice.
Right. And maybe because she doesn't have her own voice. She exists in the memories and obsessions of her brothers. She symbolizes loss, maybe lost innocence, the past they can't recapture. Each brother sees her and her fall through his own warped lens.
So she becomes this kind of empty space that they all project onto.
In a way, yes. She's the wound, the absence that defines so much of their pain and dysfunction. Her story, told indirectly, just underscores how subjective memory and perception really are. Okay, so we have these complex characters in this fractured structure. But let's talk more about Faulkner's style itself. The stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
What does that actually feel like for the reader?
Well, it feels like being dropped directly inside someone's head. Thoughts aren't neat and tidy, they jump. Memories intrude. Sensations mix with ideas. Faulkner often uses minimal punctuation, run-on sentences, sudden shifts. It mimics the flow of actual thought, the messy, associative way our minds work.
So it's demanding. You have to actively work to follow it.
You do. It's not passive reading. You're participating, trying to make connections, figure out who's thinking what and when they're thinking it. That's tied into the nonlinear storytelling, too.
Right, the time jumps. It's not just Benjy's section. The whole novel shifts around in time.
Exactly. You might be in the present one moment and suddenly dropped into a memory from years earlier, then back again, sometimes within the same paragraph.
Yeah.
You have to piece together the chronology yourself. It challenges that whole idea of a simple, linear plot.
So these techniques, stream of consciousness, nonlinear time, and the multiple perspectives we talked about, they all work together.
Absolutely. They create this incredible mosaic of truth, as you put it earlier. You don't get one authoritative version of events. You get fragments, subjective experiences. It forces you to realize there isn't just one story. There are multiple, overlapping, sometimes conflicting truths. It's much closer, perhaps, to how reality actually feels.
More complex, more ambiguous.
Definitely. And Faulkner layers symbolism on top of all this, adding even more depth. The title itself, The Sound and the Fury, that's from Shakespeare, right? Macbeth.
Yeah, the famous line. A tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. How does that connect?
Well, it connects most obviously to Benjy, the idiot in the literal sense, whose section is full of sensory input, sound, fury, but lacks conventional meaning or structure. But beyond that, it sets up this profound question for the whole novel. Does all this intense human drama, all this suffering and sound and fury ultimately mean anything? Or is it, in the end, nothing? It introduces themes of meaninglessness, perception, maybe existential dread right from the cover.
Wow, that's a heavy starting point. And then there are specific symbols within the novel, like Caddy's muddy drawers. That image really sticks with you.
It's incredibly potent, isn't it? It's this concrete image of lost innocence, Caddy playing in the stream as a child. For the brothers, especially Quentin, it becomes the symbol of her fall, of the purity they felt was lost. It represents the decay of their ideals, this irretrievable past they're obsessed with.
A single image capturing so much of their fixation.
Precisely. And another recurring symbol tied tightly to Quentin is clocks and watches.
Right, his obsession with time.
He inherits his grandfather's watch. He later breaks it. It all symbolizes his desperate, futile struggle against time's passage. He wants to control it, stop it, escape it, but of course he can't. Time marches on, relentlessly destroying his idealized world. The clocks are a constant reminder of that impossibility.
It's like he's trying to fight a force of nature. So all these elements, the characters, the style, the symbols, they build towards some larger themes, don't they? What are the big ideas Faulkner is exploring?
Well, fundamentally, it's about the decline of the Old South. The Compson family's disintegration mirrors the decay of that whole post-Civil War aristocratic way of life, its values, its illusions.
A society unable to face the present.
Exactly. And within that, you have the intense focus on family dysfunction, the secrets, the resentment, the lack of love, the emotional damage. It's a brutal look at how families can tear themselves apart.
The narrative structure itself seems to be a theme, too. Time and memory as subjective things.
Absolutely. The way the story is told is part of the meaning. It shows how powerfully the past shapes and often traps the characters. Memory isn't just recall, it's an active, often distorting force in their present lives.
And Faulkner doesn't shy away from the social context, either race, class, gender.
No, they're woven deeply into the fabric of the novel. The contrast between the privileged, decaying Compsons and the enduring, marginalized figure of Dilsey says so much about the rigid social hierarchy of the South at that time, and maybe about where real strength lies.
It seems like Faulkner's asking really deep questions about meaning itself.
He is. It's philosophical, it's exploring time, identity, the weight of history. Is it just a family tragedy, or is it a commentary on a whole culture's inability to reckon with its past and find meaning in the present? It's both, I think.
So thinking about its impact, what's the universal message here? What makes it resonate beyond just the story of the Compsons or the American South?
I think the most powerful universal message is about the inescapable nature of time and history. The past isn't dead, as Faulkner famously said elsewhere. It isn't even past. It shapes us, haunts us, defines us, whether we like it or not. You see the characters struggling against this, trying to escape their history, and mostly failing.
That sense of being bound by what came before.
Right. And also that contrast between powerful who crumble, the Compsons, and the marginalized who endure, Dilsey. That speaks volumes about resilience, dignity, and where moral strength might actually be found when societal structures fail. It's a commentary that still feels relevant, I think.
Definitely. And its literary legacy. It's considered a masterpiece.
Right now, unquestionably. It's a cornerstone of literary modernism. Those techniques we talked about, stream of consciousness, the fractured narrative, they were groundbreaking. Faulkner pushed the boundaries of what the novel could do, how it could represent human consciousness. He influenced generations of writers. Yes, it's challenging, but its impact is undeniable. It's arguably his greatest work.
So we've journeyed through the Compson family's world, unpacked the tricky narrative style, looked at the symbolism, the big themes. Hopefully, for you listening, this gives you a clearer map, maybe makes the thought of tackling the Sound and the Fury feel a bit less daunting and more like an exciting challenge.
It's definitely a rewarding one. Once you sort of surrender to the way Faulkner tells the story, it's incredibly powerful.
So maybe give it a try. And here's something to think about as we wrap up, drawing on that title. If the story, as Macbeth suggests, is potentially Sound and Fury, signifying nothing, what kind of nothing is Faulkner asking us to confront? Is it nihilism? Or is he pushing us to find meaning, despite the chaos, despite the decline, despite the relentless march of time? What does that nothing mean to